So you're thinking about starting a podcast in 2026. Well, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to start your podcast in 2026. So you're going to want to watch this video to the end. Welcome to this new YouTube channel. It's The Pod Place. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And we're going to tell you everything you need to know to start your podcast in 2026. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So you've been thinking about starting your podcast, and for whatever reason, you've just been prevented from starting it, right? Like, oh, the gear is too expensive. I don't know where to start. I don't want to look stupid. Maybe next year, or maybe next time, or maybe right now is not the right time. So I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking about starting a podcast in 2026, it is absolutely crucial that you do it. Starting a podcast in 2025 literally generated me over $240,000 in revenue. It's not profit, but definitely revenue. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did that. But this is the significance of starting your podcast. I would say the barrier of entry should be as little as possible. Your very first podcast is not gonna be your best podcast. So if you're like, I need to buy a $4,000 camera, I need to buy a $2,000 camera, I need to buy this $600 mic, I need to buy XLR cords, you don't need any of that stuff. You could literally get started with your iPhone and either a $20 mic or, those headphone mics. Like, you could literally start with that, because your first podcast episode is not going to be your best one, I guarantee you. So if technology is preventing you from starting, just use what you have. Be resourceful. As you get the repetitions of doing it, then, you could upgrade and you could do things that you need to. But starting is essential. Now, the second option is you could come to a studio like the Pod Place, where way below market standard. Our first podcast episode is only $99. And this could be appropriate for if you want to start at a higher caliber. People will take you more serious when you bring them to a studio, right? Opposed to like bringing them to your house with like iPhones and like 2 mics. You're like, hey, that might not be as professional. And I'm going to tell you how you can leverage podcasting to make money in just a bit, so bear with me. But there are some options, right? Like, option 1, just get started, get the ball rolling, create momentum. That is always my ideology, no matter what, is get started, get the ball rolling, create momentum. So use your phone, be resourceful, get the reps. By doing it, you're going to learn more and more and kind of understand what the next process is and how you'll like level up in the game, opposed to just like sitting there and being like, maybe I'll start one day. So just get started, even if it's with your iPhone. Get used to talking. Number 2, you could use a studio like ours. There's some across the market or across the nation. There's a ton of them, but we're also opening up like 10 studios in 2026. So we might be coming to a market near you. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a special offer for people that only watch this video. So make sure you stay till the end. But anyways, number 3 option is actually build a studio. So I will be completely frank, like this entire studio, everything you see around here costs around $50,000. We have a bunch of mics, a bunch of cameras, lights, all of that stuff. So if you have 50 grand, like if you're a rich dude and you're like, fuck it, yeah, I could have 50 grand to start my own podcast studio in my office. Like, yeah, maybe that's the most cost effective if you're gonna use it. So think about it. If our studio session on average is $180, how many studio sessions would you have to do to pass 50 grand and then like be like done with your investment, right? Or like be in the positive with your investment? Probably a lot. Like, I don't know the exact math on it. I'm sure we could pull it up, but maybe you could do the math on your end. It's a lot. Like, it's quite a bit. So it might be better, like even if you're a top level executive, to just come to a studio like ours, $180, like get to know, right? Like if you're gonna like podcasting or if you like the process, opposed to just spending 50 grand and then you're like, well, I got this studio and not monetizing it and there's 50 grand. I mean, it's a good write-off, I guess. Like, depends on your level of wealth, like where you're at. But for most people, that's not super duper realistic, right? To get 50 grand worth of equipment, build their own studio, and then start podcasting. Like, that's just a story we tell ourselves. So now that you know the 3 options that you could do to start your podcast is 1, just start it with what you have. 2, go to a studio like the Pod Place. Or 3, build your own studio. Those are your options to start your podcast. Now, once you decided what option you're going to take, which I recommend number 2, coming to the Pod Place, I will hook you up, I promise, hands down. And once you decide what you're going to do, then this is how I made money off my podcast. It wasn't from like views. It wasn't from sponsorships. It wasn't from running ads on my podcast. It was because I strategically invited guests that I wanted to do business with. I literally used it as a form of acquisition. The only reason I ever started a podcast was because I wanted to invite people that I wanted to do business with through Pathfinder at the time, because this was before I had the public studio. I had a small studio in the back of one of our other organizations. It was Stargaze. And I would only invite people that I wanted to do business with. And my ideology was I would have them come to the studio. We would shoot some content. I would get it edited for them through our editors. And then I would get it back to them. And so that would get them into our ecosystem, kind of like understanding how it would be like to work with us, right? Now they'd get these cool pieces of content. They'd post them, they'd get the dopamine hits, and now they have literally emotional ties to content that we provided for them. So that was how I did it. And over the course of a year, by doing that, I generated over 200 grand in revenue. How you could do it for your business is the same process, right? You strategically invite people on your podcast that you want to do business with, build a relationship, get them content, right? You're giving them so much value. It's an easy yes for them to come and do some content with you, right? You're providing a platform for them to share their message. They get to talk about themselves. They get really cool content at the end of it. It's like a no-brainer for somebody to come on, right? And you build relationship, because money is exchanged because of relationships, from human to human. That's the only way to make money. Think about when you go on a date with someone, right? Like your first date. You go on an experience with them, right? Like you take them on a roller coaster, you go to dinner, you do an activity, and then it creates that neural network, like that connection, right? That's what having prospects come onto your podcast, that's the same thing. You're taking them on a journey. Most people have never been on a podcast, right? So it's literally Hollywood. There's lights, cameras, there's engineers, there's people watching, and most people are like, not the most confident in front of a camera, but then you like make them feel confident. You're taking them on this journey. They're experiencing this with you, and you're building a deep connection, right? And then on top of that, once they post the content and you collaborate with them, you're getting access to their market. So now people are like, whoa, where did they get that? They got it from this person. So you're starting to build your network through it as well. And then down the line, right? If you play it right, when people think about your business or your niche, let's say if you're a tax consultant and you invite a bunch of businesses that you want to do business with, and once it comes tax season, guess who they're going to think about? This person that they had an experience with. And that's how you leverage podcasting for business, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you can make money from a podcast, but that is the core way to make money with a podcast. And beyond that, right? If you do it properly, if you really understand YouTube, if you really understand social media, if you understand headlines, if you understand SEO, and you are consistent over a long enough period of time, then you could start to really generate revenue through the views, through the traffic, through the sponsorship deals. But in the beginning, I haven't even monetized my YouTube channel yet. I have like 1,000 or something subscribers, but I haven't generated any revenue from the streaming aspect of it. I've generated revenue through building the relationships and giving people a great experience. And that's how building a podcast in 2026 can translate into huge opportunities. So if you're on the fence and you don't know how to get started, or you don't know what to do to start a podcast, this is your sign. Reach out. I'll leave our website below. And if there's anything I could do to help you get started, please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys thrive in 2026. This is your sign to start your podcast today. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.